Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is Birch and Lily, where I talk about all of the knitting and cross stitch that I've been up to over the past couple weeks. Today is a little bit different of a video. I'm going to be showing you a couple different things here. How to pull thread off of a floss tag, which is something I talk about a lot on my videos. And then I'm also going to show you how to pick your starting point for where you're going to stitch. I will also have another video that I will be posting on how to do a loop start, a normal, I don't know the name of it, start, and I'm also going to show you how to do a pin stitch. But that will be in another video, and I will try my best to remember to link it down below for you. So let's jump on in. Let's start off with finding your starting point. So you're going to need a measuring tape and your fabric, obviously, and I think I'm going to actually zoom this out a little bit. Okay, so I have my piece of fabric here. I am a corner starter. I know some people will start in the middle as well, but I use a calculator that is available on the 123stitch.com website, which I will have linked down below for you, to figure out the exact size of my stitched piece. And then you can also figure out the exact size of fabric you would need if you had your border space on the outside of that piece. So I never really find the need to start in the middle of my fabric. If you do want to do that though, the best way to do it would be to fold your piece of fabric straight down the middle. And then once you have that crease, now this is going to be hard to show because this is a larger piece of fabric. Let's see if I have a smaller piece of fabric. 1 second. Okay, so this is obviously the most awkward offcut ever. But all you would do to find the very middle of your piece is to fold it there, get a little bit of a crease in it, then fold it again this way, get a little bit of a crease in it, and then right there is your very middle. So a pattern will have, and I cannot show you a pattern because I don't have a free one around me, but a pattern will always have on the chart an arrow this way and then an arrow this way to point you to the very middle of the project. So if you did want to start in the middle of a piece, that is the way that you would want to find it. But I'm going to show you how to start in the corner of a piece. I'm going to keep this folded because this piece of fabric is very large and it was the only piece of 28 count that I had kicking around, but this will still give you a good enough idea. So let's say this is my piece of fabric. A good average for how much border space you want on the side is about 2 to 3 inches. That is usually what a framer can work quite well with. So I have sat on 1, 2, 3 stitch. I figured out the size of my piece. I know my fabric is big enough. I literally sit here. So let's say I'm going to do a 2-inch border. I take my measuring tape and I measure out 2 inches, and then I'll usually just take my needle, and that's the wrong end, and poke it into my stitching so that I know where 2 inches this way is. Then I'll run my measuring tape right up against beside it so that I know it's in the same spot that I had previously measured. Move my needle and poke it right where that 2 inches is. And that gives you your starting point. Nice and simple, very easy. Hopefully that makes sense. So, you know where to start. You want to use your floss off of a tag like I do. This is my preference. I don't really like putting anything in bags. I just bought these rings off of Amazon and I hang them off on tags. If I'm using DMC, I will actually just punch out my own tags and do it the exact same way, hanging off of this ring. This is just the easiest way for me, and you will see that it is very simple to get a strand off of a tag. So all I'm going to do, actually I'll take one of these off of here just so, oh no, I'll leave it. Okay, so I have my whole tag here. I have the floss hanging off. All I'm going to do, I'm going to hold this up and hopefully I'm close enough that you can see. I take my needle and I separate it out until I can find one individual strand on here. So once I've got that, all you do is pull it off, and I've got one strand off of there. Now, you would not want to do more than one individual strand at a time. So say you're stitching on a 28 count, a 32 count, something where you would use, say, 2 strands of floss at a time. If you're not doing the loop start, obviously, you need to pull 2 strands off of your tag. You want to do each of those one at a time, because if you try to pull 2 off at a time, you will make a big knotted disaster and you'll be very sad. So let me show you that one more time. I have my tag here. I'm going to go searching around until I find one individual strand. Make sure you're not accidentally splitting it. That's really important. And you just grab it and pull. And it doesn't create any knots or anything like that. This just kind of tightens up, and once you've pulled that strand off, it pops back to normal. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask me down below in the comments. I'd love to try and help you out. And if you did learn something today, if I did help you out, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. That helps me out a lot. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye.